And I will go to my left central and lateral incisors. I will make sure that I have half of my canine in the shot, and I will take my shot with my tube head lined up with my ring, making sure that my angulation is not too much and not too little. I will then move to my right central and lateral incisors, making sure to get half of the canine again. And then I will place my tube head. This would be too much angulation, so I want to move it up some, get less angulation. So then I'll place my tube head and I would take the image. I will then move to my right canine, making sure to get half of the first premolar in my image. I would place my tube head, making sure to have my angulation moved, and then I would take the image. After all my anterior shots were done, I would swap my Wren instrument and I would go to the posterior teeth. For my posteriors, this is the Wren device I would use. Okay. So I would check to make sure that the bite block is centered in my ring, and then I would have it to where this piece is not, you don't want it in the person's cheek of the teeth you're taking. So for my right teeth, this would be the correct. And then I would take a number 2 piece of film. I would place it in my holder. And then I would start with my right premolar. Okay. I would make sure to get at least the distal half of my canine in the image, along with the distal half, not the distal, the mesial half of my first molar in the shot. I would then place my tube head and take my image. I would then move to my molars on the right side, and I would want to move it to where I'm getting the distal half of the second premolar in my shot, but I also want to make sure that my film is far enough back that I get the maxillary tuberosity in my image. So then I would place my tube head and take my image. I would then move to my left premolars on the mandibular premolar. Okay. With a real person, I would be able to get their mouth closed further than my typodont's mouth is wanting to close. I will make sure that my film is lined up to where I get the distal of my canine. And I also want to make sure that I get at least the mesial of my first molar, if not more of my molars. I will then line up my tube head and take my image. From here, I'll move to my molars. I will make sure that I get the distal of my second premolar. I will also make sure that I get all 3 molars, and if any molars are missing, still get the space that that molar should be.